So we cover a lot of different systems on campus. Those systems got purchased back over the years at different times. Our core system is Banner, and Banner is a system that houses students, financial aid, HR, finance, accounts receivable, position control. So it houses a lot of modules within the core system, and that sits on a database. So the other systems feed off of that core system. And while some of those other systems are quite large in themselves and are very complex, they all feed off of the Banner core system. And then when you think of Banner, there's mainly two main areas. One is the admin area. So that's where people go in to make changes. Then there's the self-service side. And the self-service side is where it's mainly for students to go in and register and get their classes and all that. So that is called self-service. And it's also accessible for staff and faculty. So that's the main high overview of Banner. Now, Banner came out of the 1970s, so it's been around for a long time, and it's grown. Now, when it was first built back in the 70s, and it still is, Banner was intended for a very large 4-year multi-college campus. And so you'll find Banner on Georgia Tech, MIT, these large multi-college campuses. And so for that reason, Banner is a very heavy system for our community colleges. So that's just a little dip into Banner. It's a fairly complex system. It takes time to learn it. There's people who've been working around Banner for 25 years and that they are still learning it. So with that in mind, I'm going to talk briefly about WebSTAR. So WebSTAR is our Banner self-service. To log into WebSTAR is that you need your G number and a password, which is the same as your email password. Now, depending upon whether you're a student or faculty or staff, different tabs will show across the top. If you're a student, it's generally just the main menu, the personal stuff, and then the student menu. Or if you have a financial aid, then there's a financial aid menu as well. For administrators, as far as I know, the most common use of it is to approve timesheets. So employees will submit their timesheets through WebSTAR. And I will do a quick demo here to kind of show how that looks. But that's the primary use for administrators within WebSTAR. So with that in mind, okay, so while we're here, this is a banner.imperial.edu. And this houses a lot of our applications on campus. And this page is only accessible from on campus. If you're not on campus, it requires a VPN connection to access this page. So a component within IT, we are always thinking of security. And so there's some things we want to keep on campus. We don't want to expose it to the public if we can. So within this page, there's a Banner production, and in it is a WebSTAR. So WebSTAR is the self-service side. And again, you log in using your G number and your email password. Now, in my case, is that because I'm in IT, is I can see most of the tabs. But when you log in, is that you may not see all the tabs that I'm showing here. But to just demonstrate quickly the timesheet approval, which is used by most administrators, is underneath the employee tab. And then you go to electronic timesheet. I keep this as a default, the approve or acknowledge. Select button. And then here, just verify the date range. So in this case, July 11th through August 10th is the timesheet period. So I'm going to take that, and if you select that pull down, then you can select other time periods. Just select. So this will, it takes a little bit of time for, for it to come up. Okay, so this will give you a list of employees. And in my case, I have Alex, Matthew, Melody, Betsy, Alfonso. And for instance, Matthew has already submitted his timesheet, although he's still working on it. And if I click on Matthew's name, it shows the hours that he's worked. It's given the total and each day. Now, if Matthew had done comp time or some overtime, is that there's another line here for that. So that would show. Okay, so just scroll across and see the hours posted. And so on that previous page, there are some buttons. So once the timesheet is to where it needs to be and it has been submitted, you can click this button here to approve, and then click Save. And that will save the timesheet. Now, if the employee has made an error, then you can return it by just clicking this button here and selecting Save. And that will send the timesheet back to the employee. And it's good to notify that employee just to let them know that the timesheet has been returned and as to why. So that way that they can correct it and then resubmit. All right. So that's just a quick overview of approving timesheets. That's what I use self-service for. But then for students, there's the registration menu, where they register for classes, and they can check their records, student records, and they can pay credit card. And then under personal, this is where your information is stored in terms of your addresses and personal information. All right, so that's a quick overview.